think we're going.
I think we are. I approved.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm Amy Shade. I am a woman's life coach. I'm also the creator of the Radical Embodiment Method. And today I decided to invite Leslie Searcy on. She's been a client of mine, and she wanted to also support what I do and give her insights into her personal experience and what it is to work with me, and how the Radical Embodiment Method has really supported her, what she liked about things, and what were some of the challenges, right? So this is going to be a candid discussion about that. And so this is, of course, so you can learn more about what I do and for the method. So how you doing, Leslie?
I'm good, Amy. How are you?
Good. I wanted to just kind of jump in because I'm interested in also hearing your insights, because, you know, as a coach, it's nice to hear how the transformation, what the transformation looks like, and how the Radical Embodiment Method actually has worked for them.
Yeah.
So tell me why, in the very beginning, like, why did you approach me in the first place?
So I had been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, like 25 years, and I'd, dedicated my life to being with my children and not working. And, at the time I had kids, I was an actress and a dancer and, pursuing a career. And so I decided quickly that I didn't want to be gone from my kids, and I didn't want to hire people to take care of them. So I stayed home with them for a long time and sort of put my own stuff aside, I'd have to say. And the more years that went on, the further away I got from, my dreams and my talents and my goals. And so when my youngest graduated from high school, I reached out to you, and I needed some coaching. I needed a direction, because I felt like I pretty much had lost myself. I didn't even know who I was anymore. If I was going to be a healthy mom to an adult, I needed to, pull back and find myself again. So I reached out to you and started working with you, and you started with the kind of blocks that I might be facing, and we worked on those for a while. And I didn't know those blocks to getting back to myself were even there. I really wasn't even aware of them. I was trying to make decisions with my head. Am I going to go back to acting? Am I going to, I've always wanted to write, but I don't know if it's too late, or, it's like I was trying to make all these decisions with my head, and I just was frozen.
Yeah. And as you're talking, I remember that I actually reached out to you because that's when I was getting my coaching certification.
Yeah.
And I needed to have practice clients to get certified.
Yeah.
And I remember you're like, yeah, I'll do it. And then after our first coaching session, you were like, I didn't realize it was all about how deep that was.
I know. I didn't know that we were going to be going there. And I've done a lot of work, as you know, all through the years. So I thought all of that stuff was at least, known to me, even if it had not been completely healed or whatever. But I discovered some real blocks that I had not known were there before, and was able to, see them more clearly and see how they kept me stuck.
Mm-hmm. So I remember we were kind of looking at what you wanted to do next, and there was acting to go back to, some music, and then also writing. Remember? Writing.
Yeah.
And we kind of we worked on the writing, and so you are now writing short stories. You're writing a blog. You're submitting. You're in a writers group. So can you tell me, like, that first like what was the fear around writing, and then how did you overcome it, and like that experience of you really coming into your own with writing?
Yeah, you pretty much made me. I I didn't know that I had so much fear. I always wanted to, I always did write, right? When I was a teenager in my 20s, and, I always wrote, but I was always very scared to show people and very scared to be seen. It felt so vulnerable. But I did not even know that all those fears and vulnerabilities were there until you convinced me to take an action. And this might be one of the things I love most about your program, that the feelings, you don't get your feelings straight first and then take the action. You just go ahead and take the action. And when I did take the action of taking that first class, because remember, the first thing was to sign up for a class, I was terrified, but I would never have known that I was terrified had I not gone ahead and signed up for that class. And then, I took that class and I started, showing who I was and showing up as who I was. And I'm telling you, there were nights of terror. But what I learned from you is that the action comes first, and then that stuff comes up so that you can heal it. And then I started the blog, which, that was your suggestion. And it's one of the most, satisfying and connecting things I've done ever. And I was so afraid. I was so afraid to show people who I was because I was so afraid of being judged. I judged myself. So I just shut myself down so I wouldn't have to be judged. And that did not lead to a good time or a good life. So the writing has just changed my life. And it's because, well, I say you made me, but you helped me take those steps that I would not have taken because I was too scared and didn't even know it.
Right. Sometimes we just make up excuses for our fear.
Yeah.
And I know that we've worked on other aspects also, which is besides the creative aspect of your life, we worked on with parenting, and also some connectiveness with relationships.
Yeah. Yep.
So can you talk a little bit about some of the results you got from on the parenting side and what that looked like to be coached?
I think taking care of myself and my needs and being a happy person myself and not unfulfilled and stressed out, that was the main thing that changed my relationships. Like all my focus was on everyone else. And so there was probably a little bit of perfectionism going on in myself and expecting others to be perfect too. And again, which I just really didn't see. I really didn't see that was happening or didn't have a way to solve it. So I think putting my focus on me has really been what's changed my relationships. When I didn't have anything going on inside of me, but how I was going to fix you, that couldn't have led to good relationships. So I think, there's more ease and freedom in my relationship with my son. And I let him suffer his consequences more than trying to fix everything like I used to. And realize that that's going to be growth for him. And he's going to learn from it. And I can let go. Our relationship is so much easier and more loving, Although it took a while because I don't think he still maybe doesn't even trust me all that much that am going to let him make his own decisions, So it's a process. And also I find, worry and fear about him and what he's going to choose creeping in. And I just have to let that go and not entertain it,
Mm-hmm. So the radical embodiment method is the method that really connects the mind and the body and gets us in our values lived through our body and really so that we can show up authentically as ourselves. Because when we're in line with our values, then our life is a lot easier, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so there's 4 pillars, which is the reflect, the release, the re-envision, and also redesign. And just tell me which one's your favorite? Which part is your favorite?
Okay.
part?
I've been thinking about this. I love like making goals and making lists. Like, so reimagining and redesigning is fun and exciting for me. What your method offers that I'm not so good at is the embodiment, is the, like, I used to only make decisions with my head. I wasn't connected in my heart. I shut my feelings down. I didn't even know what I felt, right? I'm like, this is the right thing to do. Shut up. And so, the first part of it feels easy to me. Like I can imagine what I want. But I think what's so good, especially about your membership program, is that it takes constant vigilance, and in years to kind of learn to connect in and to, because it's a bad habit of not feeling my feelings, right? So, my initial reaction sometimes is just shut down and make the decision I think is right in my intellect. So slowing down, being able to, contact your feelings and make a decision from a heart place is what's so great about your program and what I've learned the most from. And I think that the accountability, because like we've been working together for five years now, and the accountability and the continued practice is so important. Because you can take a class, right? You can take a workshop and like you learn the information intellectually, but then the practice of it is a different thing.
Yeah, the integration.
Yeah.
And the integration into the body.
Yeah.
Is a different process than just hearing something in the mind.
Yes. Yeah. And takes practice. Takes practice. Because I've been doing that for so long, and it doesn't lead good places.
No.
My life was like, I'm doing what's right. This is the right thing to do. And it wasn't connected to anything in my heart.
Yeah. And was it painful?
Yeah. It was awful. It was like, I didn't even know how to make a decision anymore. I couldn't trust myself. I would say yes when I meant no. I would do things I didn't want to do. A lot, as you know, a lot of my day was like that.
Yeah, the people pleaser.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this up, and I just want to ask, like, how is it working with me? Like, what's my like, what's your like reflection of me? How is it to work with me?
Oh my gosh, you're so intuitive. First of all, you are you're quiet. You let people find their way instead of telling them where they need to go. And that's what I love most of all, because that's when the real progress happens. You're very kind. You're patient, and and also you're an analyst too, which I like. So your analysis of what's happening, I think, is very valuable, and that you can see things in others, in dance class, in your coaching, that others can't see in themselves. And that's the real value, of what you bring to the table, because I can't do that myself. So it's been a pleasure working with you. You're the kindest person, and that it's your love and what you love to do, and your service that means a lot. It's feels different. So I think everybody ought to join your membership, do privates with you. It's some of the biggest changes I've ever made in my life have been in these last few years. And the writing, I don't know, Amy, I might not have even taken that dang class if it wasn't for you.
I was like, okay, I'm on the phone with you as you're paying registering. I stayed on the phone with you.
Right now? I'll do it tomorrow.
Nope.
Go ahead and do it now. I'll wait. I'll be right here on the phone. Oh my God. In the moment, it was panic.
And so, yeah, but you had it in you. I knew you had it in you, So So who would you recommend me to? Like, why would you recommend, like, what type of people, if you're struggling with who would you recommend for me
Yeah,
to?
I think the person that would get the most out of your coaching is somebody who's willing to make changes, willing and eager to make changes. Probably somebody that's creative, because you're in the creative realm and that's just your jam. And that's, probably what you relate to. And, women would probably, mainly women, although you're great with men too, who are, in different stages of their life. I wish we'd done this when I was a young mother,
Right.
because I thought this is how you were supposed to be. You're supposed to give up yourself for your children. I wished I'd done this a lot sooner. So young women that are newly married or new mothers or starting a career or wanting to be more creative just in their regular life, I think, that's your specialty. And people would really benefit from the embodiment if they're anything like me, because I had no idea you're even supposed to do that.
Right. Well, I think we hit our mark. I think, this is, I appreciate you and I appreciate your input, and I'm hoping that, I know that we just keep working together, and
Yeah.
and things just keep getting better and better as we evolve.
Absolutely. I hope a bunch of people see this and work with you, because they're gonna be better.
Oh, thank you, Leslie. All right, we're going to sign off here on this live YouTube. Live on
Right.
YouTube.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.